Alright, good morning everybody. It is Monday of the long weekend and I'm out here checking out a durum field. The durum is up and at 'em, about 2-leaf stage now. You can see we got some sow thistles here. So I just dug some up to show. And you can see these are perennials, so they're all coming up from underground rhizomes here. Well, doesn't do much good if I break it off, but you can see the underground rhizome here. So that's a good example of what they look like underground, and you can see why they're so hard to get rid of, just like a Canada thistle. You got to kill that rhizome if you want to kill the plant. Alright, here's a crop that probably not too many of you are familiar with growing. We've got some safflower coming up here, so really excited to see how this comes about during the year. It's just starting to put out the first true leaves here now. So we still got quite a ways to go yet, but it's emerged very well. You can see nice rows. Alright, I'm out in rye field today, and the amount of height this has picked up in the last 2 weeks is just incredible. It's just growing like crazy. But we're in stem elongation now, and you can start to feel the head up here above that upper node. So just going to take a quick look. Oh, I missed it. There we go. So that looks like a pretty good formed head to me. That's going to be, in the boot here and coming out fairly soon. Alright, and here's a good example of what 2,4-D does to volunteer canola. So this is in a rye field. We sprayed octane plus extra 2,4-D last week. You can see all this volunteer canola is just twisted up like crazy. So there'll be likely be some new emergence. You can even see a couple little cotyledons starting to come up here. And but by the time they get going, the crop is going to be so far ahead of them. So we're already in stem elongation with nodes, so he's growing quick. Alright, good afternoon. I'm out in the field with Dave Corey from Belshim Crop Protection Canada, and we're going to go over some manipulator staging to help you out. So we're just going to take a look at some winter wheat here.
Okay, we're out in this field and it's just starting the stem elongation stage, so we've pulled some plants from the field and we want to try and stage these plants up to see where they're at on the growth staging for manipulator application. So if I get into this plant and start digging away, I can find the remnants of the first leaf and a tiller in between that first leaf and the main stem, the remnants of the second leaf and a tiller, and then we've got another little tiller in between. So we've got 2 leaves and 3 tillers at this point. Third leaf, 4th leaf, 5th leaf, 6th leaf, and the flag is just coming out here, we think. So we're going to strip off the leaves and the tillers and get down to the main stem. We're stripping all these back right down to the crown node. And then I'll take the knife and cut this crown node off. And what that allows us to do is split the stem to see where the head and the nodes are inside. So you can see a node on the stem here, and we'll split it. So if we take this stem now and open it up, we can find the head. The head is up here. So we've got this node. So the ground, first node, second node, and the head is just about 1/2 inch above the second node. That is probably right on our growth stage 31 or 32. So that's ideal timing for manipulator.
Perfect. And how much longer could we go?
We can go up to the full flag leaf. But by waiting till the full flag leaf, we've left some of that legginess grow in the first and second internode. So we're now starting to shorten the third and fourth internode. I like to give a strong foundation in the first and second internode close to the ground, to prevent that kinking when it blows over.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Dave, for giving us a quick tutorial today.
No problem.
Alright, I'm up by Carbon Gay right now, looking at some canola that's emerging. So everything's coming up pretty good. Just barely start to see some of the rows here. A couple more days it'll look a lot better. No sign of flea beetle damage or anything on these though. So everything here should really perk up and start going after all this rain we've had up here. Although I wish I had a rain gauge up here. There wasn't nearly as much rain here as there was around the West Breaching area. Alright, here's a striped flea beetle sitting right inside this mustard plant here, so it's pretty rare I ever get one of these slow enough that I can actually get them on film, but there they are. 3 of them on this one plant here, so you can see we got about, I'd say 10% damage to those cotyledons, so not enough to do any serious damage really. It's rapidly starting to outgrow them now as the first true leaves come out, so they won't be doing damage for too long. Alright, here's an interesting little weed for you in the spring. These cotyledons, they look a little bit like a buckwheat, but that's actually round leaf mallow. So the cotyledons are kind of that arrow shape, a little bit deceiving, and then once they get bigger and they start pushing out the first true leaf, you can see that distinctive mallow leaf there. Here's something you don't see too often in southern Alberta scouting fields, relatively fresh bear tracks. Probably about half the size of my boot. So about 6 inches long. Definitely not a coyote.
That's all I got for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next week.